LJ Meat Fam. What are we talking about today? We're talking about the question of what is Wagyu beef? And I got a little piece of Miyazaki A5 from Japan here. We're gonna cook this baby up. Before we do that, we're gonna talk about what it is and why it's awesome, and answer some of those questions and answer some of those myths about Wagyu. It's that simple. What is Wagyu beef? Basically, Wa, Japanese, Gyu, cow or cattle. So that's basically as simple as that. It's a Japanese cow, right? And what makes it so awesome is it's genetically superior because of its fat to meat ratio and its interstructural fat marbling, like this piece right here, A5 from Miyazaki, Japan. Shit's dope. One thing that I love about Wagyu beef, other than it's just so goddamn delicious, it encompasses all the senses, right? I mean, look at it. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. The sizzle when it hits the pan, the sound, the smell when you're cooking it. Of course, it tastes delicious. It is just the most luxurious piece of beef that you can get. All right, can you get Wagyu in the United States? Just because it's from Japan? Yes, of course you can. Here we have 2 cuts of New York. This is A5 from Miyazaki, Japan. And this is a full-blood New York from Bar R, just outside, just in Eastern Washington. Full-blood, completely traceable back to Japan, right? Also, you have crossbreeds. You got F1, they call it a 50-50. That's an Angus crossed with generally one cattle from Japan, but you can get that pretty readily available in a lot of different farms in the United States. So you don't always have to fly to Japan to get this kind of meat. It is available for us, especially if you come here. All right, let's talk about the top 3 myths of Wagyu, shall we? One is these cows are sitting by the pool, drinking beer, getting massaged. That's not necessarily true. They are just all well taken care of animals. There's not humongous lots of them. There's very, very small individual farms, and they specifically raise these animals for themselves. There's a lot more patience in the growing of those animals than there is here in the U.S. 2, Wagyu's always expensive. It is if you buy the Hollywood cuts, right? You're gonna get the New York, you're gonna get the ribeye, you're gonna get the tenderloin. Those are expensive cuts, no matter what. But if you start thinking about the animal as a whole, there's so many other pieces of this animal that are gonna blow your mind, and they're gonna be a little bit more, way more inexpensive than, say, a tenderloin that you're gonna spend $150 on a portion for, right? Explore the animal. That's what we love to do here the most at LJ. Let's see, number 3. Kobe beef is the same as Wagyu beef. Yes, Kobe is Wagyu, but Kobe has to be from Kobe, Japan, where this is Wagyu beef right here, right? Not from Kobe. So it's like talking about champagne in France. You can get sparkling bubbles anywhere in the world, right? You get them in, States, you go to California, anywhere else, you get sparkling in the style of champagne, right? So I guess that being said, we're all trying to mimic what they do in Kobe. And why is Kobe so expensive and beautiful? Is because it's their diet, it's what they're raised on. It's a myth that we don't have an answer to yet, to be continued. But you don't really get that Kobe in the United States unless it's completely stamped and certified from Kobe, Japan. That's it. All right, how do you cook this? All right, so this is an 8-ounce piece of A5, okay? Generally, you're not supposed to eat that much. I'm gonna give it a shot, trust me. But if I take this guy, and I'm gonna cut these into usable, more user-friendly pieces. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. Boom, right there. So you can come into the meat shop and you can get this guy for $35, right? So I made this an affordable piece, and it's not gonna be way too much for you to eat, because you don't wanna eat a whole 8-ounce chunk of this, you really don't. 4 ounces is great for you and one other person in your household to be able to get this A5 experience, all right? So then we're gonna show you how to cook it. All right, guys, let's do this. So it shouldn't be intimidating. We cut these into really nice sizes, right, for everybody to have a try. I'd like to season mine with just a little bit of salt. You know, all those steaks you get at home, you're gonna like, oh, I'm gonna season it up and put all this blah 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 on it. No, you want to taste this beef. Straight up taste the flavor of this beef and why it's so special. Got my pan going, cranked it hot, it's starting to smoke just a scotch. We're gonna put the cold meat. Colder the better with Wagyu, right? Here's that sizzle, baby. And that smell. You know what? It almost smells like foie gras. It really does. It's so fucking good. All right, I'm gonna turn my heat down just a little bit. We're gonna let this baby rock and roll at medium. And all we're really looking to do, you can almost watch this thing cook from one side through like cooking a perfect piece of fish. Because we wanted to have it medium, right? You don't really want to eat Wagyu rare all that much because the fat's still cold and kind of viscous. And you want this thing to melt and just be the most luscious, melt in your mouth, buttery piece of beef, right? Not hard. All right, guys, this 4-ounce piece of A5 Miyazaki, New York. 3-4 minutes aside, letting it rest. Let's take a look. Yeah, baby. You can hear that little crusty crunch. Okay. I like to just kind of fan mine out a little bit like this. As you can see, it's all super glistening. And you can see how squishy and soft it is. Now, one thing, because I like to taste the beef flavor, just do a little bit of finishing salt, right? And this is the baller bonus point. You take a little bit of that leftover fat. Oh. And you just drizzle it over that. Shine it up. Good to go. That was not hard. Never gets old. Never gets old. Try it. Do it for yourself.